Good morning, everyone. Jim Laird here in Largo, Florida. Hope you're doing well today. Like I said, the fall here is ridiculously beautiful. So it's kind of funny that it's like, 75, 80, and I'm like thinking it's kind of chilly, which is weird for a Canadian to say that, but it is what it is, getting used to a new environment. It's going to be a quick one today. We have some in-person visits here shortly. So I've got to go get pretty and put my makeup on and do my hair. So good times. So we've got a couple things going on tomorrow. Dr. Stillman's blood pressure webinar is at 10 a.m. If you're watching this in the future, the webinar is in the description. If you want to watch the blood pressure webinar, you can click on it to set a reminder for tomorrow. Make sure you get on our email list. Our next week's webinar is going to be another webinar on blood pressure. We're actually going to get into like how do you fix your blood pressure, which is going to be part of our fundamentals of wellness course. So get on the email list so you can get access to that. That's on every Thursday at 10 a.m. we do, and you'll be able to watch a replay on that. So if you can't watch it live, you'll be able to catch a replay and watch it. And then you can always sign up for the course if you want to get all the stuff that we're doing. We do that every Thursday at 10 a.m. Just go to stillmanwellness.com. When the pop-up pops up, just enter your email. That'll put you on our email list. You can also go to Dr. Stillman's link tree, my link tree, and do that as well. We also have our retreat coming up in January. I can't believe it's getting close now. Our retreat in Nicaragua. We'll be doing a live here soon, talking more about Nicaragua, because a lot of people still have reserves about going to Nicaragua because a lot of people don't think it's that safe, which is not the case. So, but we'll get into that in the future. But you can check that out. You can come hang out with me and Dr. Stillman on the beach in Nicaragua at this beautiful remote location, which I'm going to be building a gym at, an outdoor gym on the beach. And Mr. Stan Efferding is going to be author of the Vertical Diet. It's going to be there as well. And you can hang out with the three of us and have fun. And there'll probably be other special guests as well. So make sure you check that out. They just opened flights back to American U.S. Airlines. So there's more options to get to Managua from Miami, from Houston, at a very reasonable price. So today's topic, do your diets keep on failing? And we see this repeatedly. And we see people that are using dietary approaches that are either too extreme, or people don't understand that their dietary needs change based on their activity level and their goals, or they've used a certain dietary strategy for a long time and then it stopped working and they double down on it, and they're not willing to be flexible and change their dietary strategy. A lot of people don't understand that your diet needs to change a little bit with the seasons and your activity level. And then also a lot of people will get hyper-focused on diet, but they'll forget about the importance of light, circadian rhythms. Stress management is something I see just absolutely obliterates a lot of people. You could be on the perfect diet, whatever that means. If you don't manage your stress and do a good job on that end of things, on that front, it's just not going to end well for you in the long run. So those are a lot of the mistakes I see. People get caught in dogma. I mean, humans are omnivores. And generally, in history, their diets change with the seasons. They eat different things at different times of the year. And that's a lot of the problem we have today is people are eating the exact same foods all the time, all year round, your tomatoes all year round, different, instead of rotating things in and out. So, I try to eat seasonally. I eat a little less carbohydrates in the winter, obviously, since I moved down here to Florida, and then I'm moving down, I'm going to be down closer to the equator. That really isn't as big a deal as when I lived in Kentucky or I lived in Canada. So I like to rotate my carbohydrates a little bit. I still would eat a little bit of carbohydrates, just a different kind of carbohydrate in the winter if I'm training hard. But generally I'll rotate how I eat that way. But a lot of people will get so fixated on a certain style of eating and they get married to it, and it works for a while, and then all of a sudden they aren't getting results anymore. And a lot of people won't eat to match their training level. Like we'll have people try to do, ultra low carb diets or something along those lines, while they're doing a lot of HIIT or they're doing all sorts of different things. And the same thing works for training too. Like you could do HIIT for 4 or 6 weeks and it has really great effects. And then all of a sudden your body gets used to it. Or your body just can't handle that intensity anymore. And you've got to change your training up. You've got to change, maybe take, do a little more aerobic work, take a little break from that, do some more lifting. You've got to change you want to do a lot of the same things in your training and in your diet, but you're going to have to make some changes and make some adjustments according to what's going on in your life as well. So, your nutritional demands are going to change dramatically, due to stress, due to exercise. Dr. Stillman, I was just talking about, good morning to you. You know what's really sad? When I come out here in the morning and there's a frog dead in the pool, that makes me really sad.
Sorry, what was that?
Frog. There's a frog dead in the pool.
Yeah, you cry tears over the little frogs, don't you?
I do. The little cute little frogs. I feel really bad for them. They go in this big oasis of water, and then it's just like,
they get killed by the chlorine.
And we don't, of course.
Back on topic, Jim.
I know, but we're going to get a lot of hate for us having a chlorinated pool, but we rent, so we really don't have a choice. But yeah, of course, the pool lady came yesterday, so the chlorine's a little higher than usual. So that's probably why the frog got
where were we in the conversation of diets keeping on failing?
So I basically went through the reasons I see people's diets failing, and one was like going too extreme, sticking to one type of diet for too long, being married to it not matching their performance goals, not rotating with the seasons, not focusing enough on sleep, not focusing enough on stress management. That's basically where I was at. And I was talking a little bit how I've used different dietary templates.
That covers like 90% of it.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's just what I've observed. And people, it's like training. Like we talk about, people do HIIT for 4 to 6 weeks and then it quits working. It works at first and then they don't realize they need to change the intensity of their training.
Right.
They need to change things up. And people don't really understand that. And this would happen with nutrition, would happen in nature with the seasons naturally, but we don't have that anymore because you can get anything anywhere from anywhere in the world at any time.
I'm drinking my frozen blueberry smoothie with blueberries from Maine here in Florida.
Right. I think
not exactly, natural, so to speak, but right. Yeah, there's a couple other things that I don't think people understand. And these are things like pH, things like micronutrient or mineral balance, which is part of why I love to get HTMAs. And those things are very controversial and not a lot of people know how to actually use them to help people get better. As in, people will just throw the alkaline diet at everyone like they're all going to get better with it, and then some of them don't, right? Or the alkaline diet is right for them now, but then it falls apart on them later. And you have to understand that it's not about, you said something interesting to me yesterday. You said you don't fix your posture, you manage it. Correct. It's a lifelong engagement, right? Because the problems you have with your posture today are not going to be the same as the problems you have with your posture next decade.
Well, the problem you have with your posture right now is the posture you're in.
You love saying that, Jim.
No, it's true. Like the worst posture that you're in is the one you're currently in.
So the one you're stuck in.
Well, not necessarily the one you're stuck in, but the one we're not designed to be stationary for long periods of time. So,
and on that same note, we really aren't designed to eat the same thing over and over again every single day.
Correct.
It struck me at one point in my career how the people who were the most mentally unwell, the really bad schizophrenics, the people with really horrible, terrible autism, they would only eat the same thing. It was like chicken tenders. I remember this one kid, it was chicken tenders and toast or something like that. And then he would put ketchup on the chicken tenders. And then another case, it was like steak and eggs. And it was only steak and eggs. And this guy was, he was nuts.
Was he the founder of the carnivore diet?
No, he was not.
He was not. Okay.
Well, there's a big difference too. The carnivore guys do talk about this between a rare steak and one that's been fried to death. There's a big difference between grass-fed, local beef and grade D feedlot. You think it's steak.
Your Denny's breakfast steak.
Don't say that. Don't single out the one brand. It's mean. It's mean, Jim.
Okay, Waffle House, Denny's. Let's see who
Right.
else is there.
And then the other thing that people miss with their diets is they don't understand the diet's part of a bigger thing, and there may be something in their environment or their lifestyle that's actually the cause of the diet failing. So blaming the diet is a big mistake,
Right.
sometimes anyway.
It's just a combination of multi-factors. And I would say probably the biggest factor, the two biggest factors today are indoor lifestyle and broken circadian rhythm with a combination of constant chronic stress from modern life. Those are like the triad of destruction.
Well, not to mention EMF.
I throw that in there.
Can't say
in there
that
with
too
the modern
loudly
life.
here on our legacy media or our legacy social media platform.
If it doesn't agree with the CDC, doesn't agree with you, we're not allowed to say it.
That's right.
Don't you talk about the
science here, Jim?
Don't you talk about your book either, Doctor?
I know, right?
It's very controversial.
All kinds of thought crimes and misdemeanors in there.
Don't go look at Dr. Stillman's book. It's hate speech.
Yeah, only look at it if you don't want to, die. Anyway,
it's an inside joke.
It is an inside joke. Okay,
and you can tell the story if you want, but I'll leave it to you.
No, I'm not going to tell the story.
Okay, don't tell the story.
Okay. Leave that one there.
Well, we've actually got to get going here because we've got to be an in-person.
We got to go see
really
somebody.
soon. I've got to go put my makeup on and do my hair.
Wow.
I got to put the foundation on. I got these bags under my eyes from being almost 50 that I got to cover up a little bit. But if I walk around,
you are ridiculous, Jim.
I can be.
You are ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right. I think that covers it.
I appreciate the laugh, Starlight. That's very good. Thank you so much. Trying to make you
smile. Take care,
everyone.
Have a great day. Make sure that you get outside.
Check out the blood pressure webinar tomorrow morning. It's in the description. Check out our retreat to Nicaragua as well.
Come to Nicaragua with us. You will have a delightful time. We promise.
Yeah, I'll make funny faces at you. I promise.
Okay.
Have a great day, everybody.
That's not the number one selling point, Jim. Try and lead with something else.
For somebody, it might be.
We want them to actually come.
They might want me to